ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Today I stand before you to speak on a subject that holds immense power, a subject that connects us to our spiritual roots, our lost history, and our divine identity, the Ethiopian Bible. This is not just a collection of sacred writings. It is the oldest, most complete, and one of the most authentic versions of the Holy Scriptures known to humankind. Yet the question we must ask ourselves is why? Why was this sacred book kept away from the world? Why has it been ignored, suppressed, and hidden from the global conversation about biblical truth? To answer that, let me take you back in time. The Ethiopian Bible, also known as the Ge'ez Bible, was written in the ancient Semitic language of Ge'ez. It contains 81 books, compared to the 66 books in the King James Version and 73 books in the Catholic Bible. Within its pages are books that most of the world has never seen or read. Books like Enoch, Jubilees, The Shepherd of Hermas, the Book of Adam and Eve, and many more. These books are filled with profound wisdom, deep spiritual insights, and hidden truths that explain the mysteries of heaven, earth, angels, and the destiny of humankind.
The TikTok ban.
Gotta pay the bills, y'all. Gotta pay the bills. Gotta pay the bills, y'all. We go. We go.
Mysteries of heaven, earth, angels, and the destiny of humankind. Now, here's where the story gets even deeper. Ethiopia is one of the oldest Christian nations in the world, accepting Christianity officially as early as 330 AD, long before many European nations even knew of Christ. The Ethiopian Bible reflects a tradition of faith that has been preserved, untouched by Roman influence, untouched by the colonial church system that would later control the biblical narrative. And because Ethiopia preserved these ancient texts, they kept a version of the Bible that holds stories and truths intentionally removed from the Bibles we were later given. So why was the Ethiopian Bible effectively banned or ignored by the Western Church? The answer is simple but heavy. Control. The truth found in the Ethiopian Bible empowers people, especially black people, with the knowledge that they are directly connected to God's story. It contains the story of Enoch, a man who walked with God, revealing the secrets of the universe. It tells the story of Jubilees, which gives us the original laws and the division of the nations, including Africa's rightful inheritance. It tells of fallen angels, spiritual warfare, and the real origins of humanity, truths that would liberate minds and expose lies if widely known. For centuries, colonizers and oppressive religious systems controlled the narrative to make people believe that God's story was not their story. They pushed a limited version of Scripture that justified slavery, racism, and oppression. They wanted to erase the connection between African people and the divine to ensure that people of African descent would never know the spiritual power, wisdom, and destiny that the Ethiopian Bible reveals. But I tell you today, the time for hidden truths is over. The time for silence is over. The time to reclaim our sacred knowledge has come. The Ethiopian Bible stands as a testament to an unbroken link between Africa and the Most High. A witness that black people were always part of God's plan, not afterthoughts, not outsiders, but central to the story of humanity and salvation. So I challenge you, seek this truth. Study the Ethiopian Bible. Find out what they did not want you to know. Find out why this book, preserved by African hands for thousands of years, holds keys to unlock your true identity, your divine purpose, and your spiritual power. Because when you know where you come from, when you know that your ancestors walked with God, when you know that Africa is not cursed but blessed, you will never let anyone tell you otherwise again. The Ethiopian Bible was hidden, but now it is time for it to be revealed. Its wisdom is waiting for a generation bold enough to reclaim it. Will you be that generation? Will you dare to seek the truth that sets you free? The choice is yours, but remember, those who know their history, those who know their God, will rise with strength and unshakable purpose. The Ethiopian Bible is not just another version of the Scriptures. It is the oldest and most complete collection of biblical writings known to humanity, containing a staggering 81 books. This makes it far larger and richer than the commonly used King James Version, which has only 66 books, or the Catholic Bible with 73 books. The Ethiopian Bible preserves ancient texts that were written and compiled long before many modern Christian traditions even formed. It holds within it a treasure trove of spiritual knowledge, historical accounts, and divine wisdom that much of the world has never seen because these books were either removed or suppressed from the Western biblical canon. Among these 81 books are some of the most mysterious and powerful texts ever written, including the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, the Book of Baruch, the Shepherd of Hermas, the Ascension of Isaiah, and many more. These writings give profound insights into the spiritual world, angels, the story of the Nephilim, and the true history of humanity's relationship with God. For example, the Book of Enoch speaks of heavenly realms, the origins of evil on earth, and visions of God's judgment, while Jubilees provides a detailed history of creation, the division of nations, and the covenant between God and mankind that predates and expands on Genesis. What makes the Ethiopian Bible even more unique is that it has been preserved in Ge'ez, an ancient Semitic language that remains the liturgical language of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church to this day. This means that while other traditions were translating and editing their scriptures, often influenced by political and religious agendas, the Ethiopian Church maintained a direct link to some of the earliest Christian and Hebrew writings, handed down carefully and faithfully through generations. The Ethiopian Bible reflects a worldview and spiritual depth that connects ancient Jewish traditions, early Christian teachings, and African heritage into a single, unified testimony of God's work among humanity. It has preserved stories and teachings that help explain mysteries still debated in modern theology, such as the nature of angels, the fate of fallen spirits, the deep laws governing creation, and even prophecies about the end time. Because of its completeness, the Ethiopian Bible fills in gaps left by other biblical canons. It restores books that offer a fuller understanding of God's plan for mankind, giving voice to prophets and seers whose words have been lost to much of the world. It also shows that African people were not only part of biblical history, but were central to it, from Cush and Ethiopia being mentioned repeatedly in Scripture to direct links with biblical figures like Moses' Ethiopian wife and the Ethiopian eunuch who was baptized in the New Testament. Thus, the Ethiopian Bible is not only the oldest and most complete biblical collection, but it is also a guardian of sacred knowledge that reconnects humanity with truths that have been hidden for too long. It's